Hey guys, I know it's been a while, yet again, but I just wanted to show you a little project I've been working on lately. It's a little bare bones right now, and I promise it'll look a little bit cleaner going forward. But as you can plainly see, it is a page showcasing some of the notable 105 epic setups we have right now that are available to us. I'll link this in the description below, of course. And the format is pretty simple. I'm going to be showing you the core components of each build, an example setup or two, and an optimal setup, usually showcasing some notable custom epics, if any. And naturally, these optimal setups won't necessarily be like the strongest a build can ever achieve, but hopefully it'll point you in the right direction as to what an endgame build might look like. And if you scroll down, of course, these are the albums here, separated by each set. And you can just click on any one of these. I didn't need to reload this page for some reason. There we go. And for example, this is the sleep build, which has been very recently made viable due to the changes to the bracelet. And I'll show you the core pieces. As you can see, it is a lot of pieces. These are all in fact core, and the only slots you have to customize it are the pants, the ring, and the earrings. But it's a really good set as you have effectively 55% cooldown reduction from just these pieces alone. And in theory, you could use a two-tone ring if you want more, or you could use, Surging Hazy Lament for a little bit more damage, as opposed to things like Corrupt Soul or Law of Gravitation, etc. And then, of course, later on, an optimal setup might look something like this, where you use Energy Search Ring. In my opinion, you should use One Touch Smart Remote Controller Ring once you have the Black Dragon Bracelet Fusion from Ispin's. And then Robotic Combat Pants, these are completely optional, usually a side grade to Elemental Damage Pants, but if your class benefits a lot from the extra speeds, this can be very, very good. And yeah, that's kind of it. There's not a whole lot else. I do explain what these builds entail usually at the start of each album, and yeah, feel free to just read through them real quick. I try to be as brief and concise as possible. And some of these builds may not look familiar to you. Some of these builds are also relatively new, like the Petrify pieces, which isn't necessarily a build. It just features the Petrify shoes, which can be thrown into almost any build already, but it does let you use the Alteration Dial Belt, which I think is fantastic. And of course, we have builds like the Cybernetic Archon and Zealot hybrid builds, which have been made viable due to changes to custom options and the other pieces. We have the Berserk build, which is already viable before, but is even stronger now. We have the Object build for exclusively solo play. And then we have the basic training build, very, very niche, basically just for Male Crusader, but technically viable for some other classes. We have the self-status build, which was also recently made viable due to changes to the build. It was technically a thing before, but it was not that good, and now it's quite good now. And yeah, that's mostly it. If you are a buffer, if you're a support class, of course you can just click on this. And I know it doesn't look anything like the rest, so it's kind of misleading, but yeah, you can click on that. And yeah, not too complex, not too complicated here. I'm just going to give you kind of a rough skeleton build, be like, hey, this is pretty much all you need to get started as a buffer. And you can like kind of customize these pieces with like Jade Ghost Tacets for more CDR, Righteous Knight's Mask for even more CDR, things like the Elemental Resist Stones for survivability, Shock Bracelet, Poison, or Burn bracelets also work for survivability, because you take half of the damage, and the rest of the damage is done as status damage, which you can just cure off. Yeah, so not too crazy. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully this is going to be of help to you. You can use this as reference and perhaps inspiration to try out other builds or tweak your builds right now. But also, yeah, just experiment to your heart's content. Use this as a reference. And of course, if there's anything you want me to clarify, or if there's anything confusing or misleading, please let me know. Otherwise, knock yourselves out. Please have fun experimenting. And just try out all kinds of builds for your characters. And hopefully I'll see you in the game. Cheers!